So I'm pleased to be joined with David Bracken. You are a local artist from here in Manitoba, and you have a brand new song that actually came out today. We just wanted to chat with you super quick to kind of get the message behind that. So it's called Sufficient. So I'd love if you could kind of, share like that message that you hope listeners will take away after hearing the song.
Absolutely. And I really hope, and it's my prayer, that this song is a song that people can relate to. It's something that we all need. We all need God's grace in our lives. I think it's safe to say that we've all done some pretty stupid stuff, right?
I think that's
We've,
probably
we,
a fair assumption.
We've all made mistakes, and there's nobody that's exempt from that. It even says in the Bible in Romans 3:23, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." And I think that we're all pretty familiar with that verse, right? It's something that we know is something that we kind of grew up with. But God is perfect. And there's no way that we could ever measure up or do enough or be good enough to deserve his blessing and his favor and his love in our lives. So the question is, where does that leave us? That leaves us with God's grace. God's grace in our lives is a beautiful gift that he has poured out on us. It says in 2 Corinthians, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." So all we have to do is come to him and kneel before his throne in the midst of our brokenness and humble ourselves and ask God for that second chance and the third chance and the fourth chance and so on and so on. And when we get to the point where we think that there is no way that God is going to give us which is one more chance, he does. His grace towards us is more than enough. And I think that my favorite part of the song is the bridge, and the words that God gave to me to put into this bridge is, "The depth of our affliction cannot at all come close to the reach of your affection. Your grace is sufficient." And that's such a truth in my heart, because in the midst of all that stupid stuff that we do, our pain, our sins, our hurt will never be too great, will never bring us too far away for the Lord's grace in our lives.
And for you personally, like, when you're writing a song, like how else, I mean, you're just saying like the Bible verses that kind of inspired this song, but like how does your faith kind of play a role in your songwriting and kind of sharing and conveying different messages?
My faith is really everything to me. And I even actually got asked one time by somebody. It was really early in my ministry, and I was singing one of my songs for them, and they said, "Do you ever sing about anything else?" And I said, "What else is there?" I realize that, yes, there are a lot of songs out there, and yes, I realize there are a lot of different topics that we could talk about, and I do actually have a number of love songs that I wrote for my wife. She is my biggest supporter, and I love her with all of my heart. My wife Samantha, she's the best thing that's ever happened to me, for sure. And I definitely wouldn't be able to do what I do if it weren't for the support of my wife and my family. So yes, there are a lot of things, but these people in my life, so my wife and my kids and my parents, my family, my friends, are all gifts to me from God. And I have to recognize that I wouldn't be able to do a single thing if it weren't for God's hand in my life. And so how could I not do what comes most naturally to me, and that's to sing and thank him for the things that he's given to me.
And kind of backtracking a little bit, maybe if someone's not super familiar with you and your ministry, your music, how did that even get started? Like, was a dream always to be a musician?
When I was a kid, I always wanted to be an actor. And so up until I graduated high school, I had it in my head that I was going to be a big star, and I was going to go to Hollywood, and I was going to do movies, and I was going to do TV, and I was going to be on stage, and that's what I love to do. But the direction that my life started taking is when I was a young adult. My parents are singers, and they used to sing with another couple when they were younger, actually from youth group up until just a couple of years ago when they retired. And it was at a time when they asked me to come to one of their concerts, their worship concerts, And I met with the other couple's son. His name is Cal Callison. And some people may remember, who listened to CHVN for a number of years, may remember the name of the band Isaiah's Answer. And Isaiah's Answer was the band that Cal and I started back in the early 2000s. I was with that band for a number of years. We wrote some really good music, and that's something that I really enjoy going back and looking at where God has brought me along in my musical journey. Because at that point in time, when I first started in Isaiah's Answer, I barely knew a thing about writing music. I just knew that I liked to sing. And so the musical journey has definitely been long. The first album that I released in 2006 as a solo artist was called Journey to Eternity. And it actually just makes sense for my life, my walk with God, my walk with my family, with everything. It's because everything that we are doing at this moment right now is a part of the journey that we are on to our eternity with Jesus.
And I mean, talking about Isaiah's Answer, you had some success with that as a group, getting nominated for a Covenant Award in 2006. And, so I'm sure it's, yeah, like you said, probably very fond looking back, kind of seeing where you came from, where you are today, how the Lord is using you, how you're encouraging people around Manitoba and all around Canada and the world. And so, if
Mm-hmm.
someone wants to follow along with your music journey, you have that song coming out today called Sufficient. If someone wants to
Mm-hmm.
stay up to date with any other future projects that you have in the works, where's the best place for them to do that?
They can follow me on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X, whatever it's called now. I'm old. I'm sorry. They can go onto YouTube. They can go to my website, which is www.davidbracken.com. You can follow me on Spotify, follow me on Apple Music, anywhere that you stream music. Basically, if you Google me, I am there. So go find me. There's another David Bracken in Ireland who is, he's like dating some actress, and so I found him last year in my journeys in the internet, and I was like, oh, there's another one of me out there. But I don't think he does Christian music, so don't follow that guy.
Follow you.
Please.
All right. Well, David, thank you so much for joining us, and all the best for the song Sufficient, how the Lord's going to use it to encourage people, and any other future projects that you have in the works.
Thank you. And there will be some coming. I can't make any promises, but we may be reviving a classic old Christmas song that not a lot of people know about. So it'll be fun to do, and I've already got it in the works. So we're hoping to have it ready for Christmas time.